The Washington Nationals week started in San Francisco as they took care of the Giants in a commanding 3-game sweep. The team with the best record in the National League now makes their way across the bay for a weekend set at the Coliseum, but will be missing the anchor piece to their outstanding lineup. The A's have been a different team at home. 15 of their 23 victories have come right here in the East Bay. After a tough road trip, the Athletics are happy to be home, hoping to get some wins in front of the faithful Oakland crowd. It's an interleague matchup versus the National League's best, A's and Nationals, and it starts right now. Friday Night Baseball from the Coliseum. It's good to be home. The A's open up a 6-game homestand tonight, and the Nationals are in town. The A's will face Steven Strasburg. He can be nasty. Andrew Triggs will start for the Athletics, so good pitching matchup. It's the A's and the Washington Nationals on NBC Sports California, powered by Xfinity. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Oakland A's Baseball. I'm Glenn Kuiper. So interleague baseball tonight here at the Coliseum. The A's getting their first look at the Washington Nationals, who right now look like the class of the National League. They are having a terrific season so far. Hitting-wise, they lead the league in home runs and runs scored. Of course, their lineup is deep. We won't see Bryce Harper tonight or tomorrow, but we will see him back on Sunday. Zimmerman's an MVP candidate, and their pitching rotation led by Scherzer and Strasburg and Gio Gonzalez, very, very good. They may need an arm or two in the bullpen, but they are off to a terrific start. Now, to talk about tonight's pitching matchup, we bring in my broadcast partner, Mark Mulder. And Mark, good matchup with Triggs and Strasburg. And Triggs is just rolling along, having a terrific season. In Strasburg, well, he's coming off one of his best starts in his career.
He really is. 15 strikeouts in his last start against the Padres. And I watched part of it, and he will command all of his pitches. He will throw them first pitch. He'll get ahead, and then he'll put you away with that 95, 96 mile-an-hour fastball, breaking balls off the plate. A's hitters do not want to get deep in the count. You don't want to get to 2 strikes against him. He has too many weapons, and with all the strikeouts the A's hitters have been having problems with, it's going to be a tough task this evening. All
right, so Triggs and Strasburg is the pitching matchup in Game 1 of this 3-game series, so we're looking forward to it, and it is indeed good to be home after the A's finished up that 2-5 road trip. We'll be back with lineups at first pitch from the Coliseum. It's the A's and the Nationals coming up on NBC Sports California.
NBC Sports California is brought to you by Southwest. Yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. By Toyota, the full-line automaker with the longest-lasting vehicles in America. Toyota, let's go places. And by Jack in the Box. Come try the new sweet or spicy barbecue bacon cheeseburger and chicken sandwich. Limited time only.
So the A's are back home. Andrew Triggs will get the ball tonight for game one of this three-game series against the Washington Nationals. Game time weather for tonight presented by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. Get to the beach. The admission-free boardwalk is open daily. 66 degrees, and all in all, a very nice night. Fans pouring in, and they're going to enjoy what should be a good ball game tonight. Interleague Baseball. Starting lineup tonight for the Washington Nationals. It's brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Here it is. Trey Turner's going to lead it off. He'll be the shortstop. Jason Worth in left. Daniel Murphy at second. Ryan Zimmerman, who is an MVP candidate. He is having a terrific season. He's at first and hitting cleanup. Adam Lind is the DH. Then Anthony Rendon at third. Matt Wieters the catcher. Michael Taylor's in center. And Brian Goodwin is the right fielder.
And Andrew Triggs making his 11th start of the season. Very good April, so-so May, but it didn't help. He gave up 8 unearned runs. He needs that defense. He's a contact pitcher. Fastball, cutter, slider. Ball will be put in play, and the A's, he needs the A's to play some good defense behind him.
Speaking of that defense, here it is. Davis, and Joyce in the outfield. Plouffe, Pinder, Lowry, and Alonso on the infield with Stephen Vogt doing the catching. So we're set to go. As Triggs facing Trey Turner, the National shortstop. Lots of speed. And the first pitch is in for a strike.
707.
So Triggs looking for his 6th win of the year. 6th best ERA in the American League so far. He's done just about everything and more that the A's could have hoped for. Triggs leads all starters in innings pitched with 58. One and two the count. Turner hitting .261. He's got 5 home runs, 23 RBIs. He's got 10 doubles, a couple of triples, and lots of speed. He's got 13 stolen bases, and he swings and misses at the Triggs slider, and that's the first down.
Well, a good start for Triggs. I talked in the pregame that he needs to get ahead in the count. That this at bat he starts 0-2, then you can expand. Once you show him you can command the pitches, he threw a fastball and a slider for strikes to get ahead. Went back to that breaking ball to get that strikeout.
Pitchcast is brought to you by Penn Fed Credit Union. So here is Jason Worth, the veteran outfielder for the Nationals. Worth .264, 7 home runs, 17 RBIs, and he takes a strike. This is just the 3rd time that these two teams have met in a series, which is, I don't want to say if it's necessarily surprising, but umpires, that is Paul Emmel. He's the crew chief, and he's calling balls and strikes. Quinn Walcott at first, Scott Berry at second, Brian Onora is at third. 1-1 the count to Worth. These two teams met in Washington, D.C. in 2005. That was the first year of the Washington Nationals. And then 2014 right here in Oakland. Dusty was not managing the Nationals at that time. He is now, and he's got himself a pretty darn good team. So just the 3rd series ever between the A's and the Nationals. In fact, when we were back in Washington, D.C. again, that was a long time ago. Played at RFK Stadium. And you must have played there, right?
Yeah. Short right field. I mean, it's not a baseball field.
No.
It is not meant for baseball.
No. Shallow right center. Rajai Davis hustling in. It's going to fall between Rajai Davis and Matt Joyce. Well, tonight, any 95-mile-per-hour fastball is our fast pitch, brought to you by Xfinity, fastest Wi-Fi at home and on the go.
Number 20, Daniel Murphy.
There's Steven Strasburg. He is locked in. Good game face. He's ready to go. Yeah, RFK Stadium. I know there's a lot of history there with the Redskins and everything. No, not a baseball palace by any stretch of the imagination. Nationals play in a pretty nice ballpark now. This is Daniel Murphy. Murphy having a terrific season, 325. That's the 7th best batting average in the National League. He's got 9 home runs and 36 runs batted in.
Well, I feel like all the years with the Mets, he was so underrated. He didn't have the best seasons all the time, but the Mets didn't want him back. The Nationals signed him, and he's been huge for them.
Remember in 2015 when the Mets made it to the World Series, he had the unbelievable postseason. He had 7 home runs. He had 4 home runs in the NLCS alone. And he had a good year that year. But he made his name in the postseason, and I think that helped him get a nice free agent contract as he singles to right field. But man, he can hit.
Well, it's kind of a bad term to use, but there's times you hear guys say a professional hitter. And all these guys are professional hitters, but the fact is that Daniel Murphy's one of those guys. He takes what you get. He sprays the ball all over the field. He has power at all parts of the field, and he gets a lot of hits like that. He finds the barrel. He's able to put the barrel on the ball and hit it hard. Doesn't show up on the scorecard whether that was a line drive to right field or a ground ball. It's a base hit's a base hit, and there's a reason he's hitting what he is.
So here is Ryan Zimmerman. Zimmerman breaks his bat. He's got a chance to get out of the inning. The throw on the first is not quite in time. So Lowry's feed to Pinder was a little low, and that kind of slowed down the pivot just a little bit.
Well, the ball was hit off the bat, and I don't know if it had a little bit of a funky spin to Lowry or not, but it wasn't hit very hard. Lowry tried to flip it. It almost seemed as if he couldn't get it out of his glove the right way, but like you said, it was just a low toss. And I really don't know if he could have gotten it there to where they would have had time anyway, but it would have been close. But it just took so long for that ball to get to Lowry that they were unable to turn it.
Exmo brought to you by Cache Creek Casino Resort. And here's Adam Lynn. First pitch to Lind is a strike. But what you're saying about the term professional hitter, and I know I've said that too, and people have said, well, of course he is. Yeah. He's getting paid and he's a hitter. I said, I understand. It's a baseball term.
Yeah.
It's like a.
And it's not always
like
the best
that's
one
a big
to
league
use.
pop-up.
Yes.
Backhanded, Pinder, shift is on, throws across, and Triggs gets out of the inning. So a couple of hits, nothing else for the Nationals. Here comes Steven Strasburg for Washington. Is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Here it is. Joyce, Pinder, Lowry, Davis, Alonso, Healy, Vogt, Plouffe, and Rajai Davis.
And quite a task for the A's tonight. Steven Strasburg is about as good as anyone right now in baseball, making his 11th start. He's a 4-pitch pitcher, fastball, curveball, slider change, coming off a 15 strikeout performance in his last outing.
Defensively, the Nationals will have Worth in left, Taylor in center, Goodwin in right, Rendon, Turner, Murphy, Zimmerman. That's a terrific infield. And Matt Wieters, the former Oriole, is the catcher. So Matt Wieters, free agent signing, kind of a late free agent signing for the Nationals, but pretty good addition for Washington. So here's Matt Joyce. Steven Strasburg is 28 years old. First pitch is a fastball just a touch outside to Joyce, hitting 188 with 5 home runs, 19 RBIs. I could read you the numbers of what the A's hitters did on the road trip or in the series in Cleveland, which I usually do, but I'm not going to tonight because there's not that many good numbers. 2-5 road trip for the A's through New York and Cleveland. So you get home, try to regroup. A's with a 23-30 record. They have lost 5 out of their last 6. The 3-0 pitch is inside, so a 4-pitch walk to open up the bottom of the first.
Time now for the Nissan keys to the game. First off, home cooking. As you said, 2-5 on the road trip. You're back home. Let's try to get something going here. And second, sweet spot. We got to find the sweet spots to that barrel.
Yes, we do.
We didn't find a whole lot of barrels on the road trip. Let's try to find it here at home. Huh? Started off Strasburg. Let's get it going tonight.
Find the barrel. That may be the theme. Here's Chad Pinder. Pinder getting a start tonight at shortstop, and get the feeling that Pinder's going to start getting some more playing time. He's got 7 home runs on the season. So 7 home runs in 66 at bats.
Well, he's putting together good at bats. He's given Bob Melvin good at bats.
And spins him away. So 2-0 the count.
You know, it's interesting. It's, you know, Strasburg, he doesn't have a windup. He goes from the stretch all the time. And if you just, like right now, it feels like his tempo's off. He's real quick. Hands don't have a whole lot of movement. This isn't the first time we've seen a few pitchers start games like this. Not able to command the baseball.
Just don't expect it from Steven Strasburg.
Yeah, as good of a role as he's been on, especially coming off that last game.
There's Mike Maddox, second season in Dusty Baker's staff. That one didn't have to be a strike, but it was called a strike. Mike Maddox was with Texas for a long time.
Well, this is that 2-0 pitch. It's just this close. The way Wieters caught it made it look worse.
Pinder taps it slowly right side. Murphy charges. He'll go to first in time. Joyce moves up. So 1 away with the runner in scoring position for Lowry.
Batting third, second baseman, number 8, Chad Lowry.
So Lowry steps up, hitting .292 with 6 home runs, 16 RBIs. Lowry with 16 doubles on the year. So good numbers all around. 56 hits for Lowry. That leads the team. Turner, the shortstop, playing right behind Joyce at second base. a little bit high with a fastball at 93 miles an hour.
Well, you know, I talked before the game about the A's needing to be aggressive. And with the way Strasburg is commanding the ball right now, which is not well, they need to be patient. I know it's a 2-0 count right here, but Lowry's got to look for one. And if it's not right down the middle or where he's looking for it, you got to let that go. You can't let him off the hook and swing at something that he's trying to get you to swing at that runs off the plate.
He's got good movement there. That one's sinking down and away. Lowry rolled over on it, and that's the second out with Joyce going to third. Strasburg was the first overall pick in the 2009 draft, and it was one of those picks that there was like no question who was going number one.
It was a no-brainer.
No, it was a no-brainer. He pitched at San Diego State. He was by far the best prospect in that draft, and the Nationals grabbed him at number one, and he's been terrific. Chris Davis hits a high pop-up shallow center field where Michael Taylor comes in. Taylor has it, side retired. So the A's strand a runner at third, no score after one from the Coliseum.
NBC Sports California is brought to you by Provident Credit Union Super Reward Checking. We pay you.
That's the authentic fan cheer card that was given out tonight. Dave Stewart. Looks good. Authentic Fan Friday. The value deck upstairs. On a nice night for baseball. These home for 6. A tough 6. Nationals and the Toronto Blue Jays, who are just rolling along. Just a matter of time before that happened. Blue Jays just beat the Yankees. Rendon, Wieters, and Taylor for the Nationals. Anthony Rendon, for most teams, would probably be hitting third. Right? I mean, he's a really good hitter.
Yeah.
For the Nationals, he's hitting 6th. 293, 9 home runs, 32 runs batted in.
That's the thing. When you look at the middle of this order, you look at Lind hitting 340, Zimmerman, we already said 368, Murphy 320, 328 right now.
It's as good a lineup probably as there is.
Harper's not even in it.
Harper's not in it. So shot to Lowry, grabs it on a line drive. So one away, and let's check in with Angela.
Well, guys, tomorrow 15,000 fans will receive a Chris David bobblehead presented by Xfinity. Here it is with me right now. I got a chance to speak to Chris in the clubhouse earlier, and he said he was honored to have a bobblehead. It's actually his third one. He had one in the minors and also with the Brewers and now with the A's. And here's his little salute. Oh, there it goes. The head doesn't bobble, but the arm moves. There it goes. Guys, back up to you.
Beautiful. I like it. So you get a bobblehead, you got to, well, he would have to, as you're supposed to do, get a home run, right? You have to do what the bobblehead does on your day.
Right.
So he needs to hit a home run to salute. Let's hope he does that. 0-2 to Matt Wieters. 273 for Wieters with 4 home runs. Pitch to Wieters. Sliders low. So the Nationals coming into tonight lead the American League, or lead the National League in runs scored, home runs, slugging, on base percentage. They're second in doubles. They're fourth in stolen bases, and they have their average with runners in scoring position is 297. Strike 3 called and a good pitch from Triggs. So that's the challenge tonight for Andrew Triggs.
Well, and so far, this has been Triggs' best pitch. We've seen him go away to the righties, and this one into the lefty. That comeback sinking fastball. Wieters giving up on it. You can see it to Wieters, that starts on his right hip. It starts at him. It comes back over the plate. Such an effective pitch to those lefties when you get deep in a count.
So here's Michael Taylor. Taylor 266 with 4 home runs, 15 RBIs. 6 doubles, a couple of triples. Taylor is a very talented young man. He's got great speed. What he needs to do is cut down on his strikeouts. He has 47 strikeouts in 128 at bats. This one is driven to left center. Davis at the wall, and it is gone. Michael Taylor, his 5th home run to give the Nationals a 1-0 lead.
Well, we talked about how deep this lineup is, and this isn't that bad of a breaking ball. It's down and away, but you can see Taylor just looking for something out over the plate, able to stay back on it, and that's why the Nationals like this kid so much. There's power there. He's not a real big guy, but as you said at that moment, needs to make more contact, and he did.
So the 78th home run hit by the Nationals this year. The A's have hit 76. This is Brian Goodwin. Goodwin playing in right field. This is the spot where Bryce Harper, or not the spot in the lineup, obviously, the spot in the field. Harper serving the 3-game suspension. He served the first game of that suspension on Wednesday. This one is rolled into right field for a base hit. So we should see Bryce Harper on Sunday. And Bryce Harper, one of the best players in all of baseball this year, hitting .328, 15 home runs, 43 RBIs. He's got 12 doubles. How about this, Mark? His on-base percentage is .438. His slugging percentage is .655. If your OPS is over 1,000, that's really good.
Yeah.
Well, his is closing in on 1,100.
It's pretty amazing, you know, watching his at bats prior to this series, because I thought he was going to be playing, and guys just they don't want to pitch to him, and then he takes advantage of those mistakes. When they do leave the ball up, he has so much pop. You know, I mean, I'm in no way comparing him to Barry Bonds, but when Bonds was at his best,
his on-base percentage and his slugging. I mean, it was, you don't see it from a whole lot of guys.
1-0 to Trey Turner. See, what I think of when I watch Bryce Harper hit, and you watch him standing there and foul pitches off, it just looks like the pitcher does not have enough pitches to get him out.
Yeah.
And they don't want to just lay one in there, because then he'll just destroy it. He'll be freed on Sunday. Pinder has it. Side retired. Michael Taylor with a solo home run for the Nationals. Bottom of the second coming up. 1-0 Washington. Frost brewed Coors Light. Home runs in May. What the heck is going on? 1,060 home runs hit in the month of May alone. Second most of any month in Major League history. 16 grand slams. I saw that today and I was like, what?
Yeah.
Second most in Major League Baseball history in 1 month. Yonder Alonso and Morrison from the Rays with 10 each. But even like 10 in a month is a lot. It's not like a ridiculous, but it's a lot.
Yeah.
But that means everybody's hitting home runs. Over 1,000.
Well, I mean, you might have heard this. I mean, you've heard about guys saying the balls are a little different.
You think they are?
Well, I mean,
Gotta be something.
I don't know. I grabbed one last homestand and was just kind of messing with it. You can't really tell, but I mean, I've heard guys talk about it because I've also heard guys talking about how they're hitting balls in BP further than they ever have. So what's changed? The air?
No.
I mean,
pitching? No.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and this is BP too. And what, you're telling me all of a sudden they're hitting it 10, 20 feet further just because?
So you're saying your theory is that
whether intentional or not,
the balls are a little different.
Just wound differently. I mean, I'll never forget my rookie year. Kevin Apier brought in balls from, I don't know, 10, 12 years earlier.
Really?
And you could take your thumb and put a line in it with your nail.
Huh.
And then we grabbed the ball that day, and you couldn't do it at all.
Batting in the sixth position, designated hitter.
So Carlos Correa, remember, was off to a little bit of a slow start for the Astros. He went crazy in the month of May. He hit 385. Mike Trout, highest slugging percentage. Corey Dickerson, how about the year he's having for the Rays? Justin Bohr, we saw him here. In fact, he hit a home run here. Adam Duvall had 28 RBIs in the month of May. So some of the May leaders.
I remember we were talking about that when the Astros were here, And we said that, Correa, after that slow start. And we both jokingly said, oh, it's not going to last. He'll get it going, and he finally has.
Well, you know what, Mark, with that lineup and the way they're playing, he's got a chance, if he keeps rolling along, he's got a chance to be an MVP candidate.
Absolutely.
And I'm not talking about down the road, I'm talking about this year.
Yep.
Quick 0-2 to Ryan Healy.
Well, one of the 4 weapons that Steven Strasburg has, a big overhand curveball. It's a little harder than normal curveballs. You see the 82 miles an hour. Lots of times you'll see more of a mid-70s.
And that one is drilled right center field, and it is caught by Brian Goodwin. Sensational play by Goodwin. I'm not sure how he got to that ball.
He went a long ways. Watch here on the screen, you can see how far he goes. Boy, he closed ground real quick when we were watching that live, and you can see a great layout. Backhand catch, glasses go flying. And boy, does Steven Strasburg happy about that one.
And it was an 0-2 pitch, and Strasburg did not get it where he wanted to, so he thanked his right fielder and said to the catcher, my bad.
There's nothing that makes a starting pitcher, or any pitcher for that matter, more frustrated than giving up 0-2 hits. And when that ball's hit, you just, as a pitcher, you just go, what did I do? And then when you have a fielder make a catch like that, it's a awfully good feeling.
Want to know the count to Stephen Vogt? Vogt chased a pitch that was out of the strike zone. Vogt at .213, 3 homers, 11 RBIs. The A's finished up the month of May with a 12-15 record after an 11-14 month of April. That one hit high in the air to right field. Goodwin, warning track, now backs up in front of the wall, and he makes the catch, side retired. So the A's go 3 up, 3 down. We're headed to the third, 1-0 Nationals.
By booking at watches.com, suite today. Visit athletics.com/tickets to book your suite. And for all A's fans, receive 20% off your first order at watches.com by using code athletics.
So top of the third with the Nationals leading 1-0. It was a Michael Taylor home run last inning. So it's Worth, Murphy, and Zimmerman. 2, 3, 4 hitters. Worth had a base hit in the first. Nationals are 33-19. That's the best record in the National League, and that's the second best record in the major leagues. Only the Astros have been better. They have won 8 out of their last 10. They swept the Giants in a 3-game series Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Then they had an off day yesterday. So they are in complete cruise control as far as the National League East goes. So the Nationals feeling pretty good. How could you not on the 2nd of June, and you got a 10.5 game lead in your division.
And when you look at those standings, I mean, you look at the other teams behind them, there's really nobody there that's,
you know what,
going to give them anything. You know what I mean? That's going to scare them at all.
I mean, if you think about the beginning of the year and you look at, say, okay, well, this, you thought the Mets would have a chance, but the Mets have not had a good season. Philadelphia is really scuffling right now. Marlins have some talent. Atlanta kind of rebuilding. So they're the class of the division, certainly, and probably the class of the National League. That one is lined toward Joyce and right. Joyce makes the catch. Nationals are 17-10 on the road, 16-9 at home.
Now batting, number 20, Daniel Murphy.
So we're just guessing. Maybe those folks are from the East Coast and they saw that schedule. And they saw a full week in the Bay Area, 6 games, 3 against the Giants, a day off, 3 against the A's. That would be the road trip to take if you were a Nationals fan.
Well, not only that, Nationals, I mean, they got.
Well, they may have another run. Murphy drives one to right, and it's gone. Daniel Murphy, a home run to right center. That's his 10th of the year, 2-0 Washington. A couple of solo home runs by the Nats. He can hit.
He really can. And what makes it surprising, these are just the 5th and 6th home runs that Triggs has given up. He's been so good at keeping the ball in the ballpark this season, and both of these balls, breaking balls. This one up more than the first one to Taylor, but like you said, Daniel Murphy's such a good hitter. That ball just coming to the middle inner part of the plate.
So here's Zimmerman. Fastball first strike. So Murphy now 10 home runs, 37 RBIs. Zimmerman had a fielder's choice in the first inning. Zimmerman leads the National League in hitting at 368. He's tied for 2nd in home runs. He's 5th in RBI, so that's why he's an MVP candidate. I remember about Ryan Zimmerman. Remember I mentioned earlier that the A's were in Washington, D.C. to play the Nationals, and it was 2005. That was the first year of the Nationals. And it was right at the time of the draft.
Yeah.
And he was the 1st-round draft pick of the Nationals, so he was their first ever draft pick. And I remember him being at the ballpark that day. He was a college player. I think he went to Virginia.
Yep.
And it was a big deal. The Nationals' first ever pick was Ryan Zimmerman, and he's turned out to be a pretty darn good player. Left side, Plouffe has it. Plouffe across, and that's the 2nd out. Of course, the Nationals came from Montreal, so it'll be a combined franchise when it comes to the record books. All-time home run leaders, Vladimir Guerrero with 234, and Andre Dawson with 225. So he's going to pass them at some point fairly soon. Still a great hat, the Expos hat.
It's so it is.
I think
it's so good.
Hat. It's great. It's just one of those that you just look at and you go, yep, that's pretty good.
There's a reason they still make as many as they do.
I know. Lynn takes outside. Lynn grounded out in the 1st. slider just missed. Tries that backdoor slider.
Well, the A's have another big shift on. This is the one where you have the guy right up the middle. You see Pinder playing right behind the bag, basically just to the right of it. I mean, he's almost in a spot where, obviously the charts show this, but it's almost in a spot. Line drive back up the middle. Triggs, he's got to be ready to field his position, as many as balls that go that way. Then you obviously have Lowry way out in short right.
Two-2 pitch. Fouled straight back. Well, his pitch is the slider, and this is the whiff percentage from April to May. So a little bit better in the month of May. In zone whiff percentage, so swinging and missing on balls that are in the zone also up. But as good as his slider is, in any pitcher who's kind of a slider person, you still have to occasionally get some strikes with your fastball.
Well,
he's done a pretty good job of that.
Yeah, the reason those numbers go up is because the fastball's better. And if you're locating it better, it then forces those guys to swing at those breaking balls.
That one skied on the infield. Alonso waits. Alonso has it. Side retired. Daniel Murphy with a solo home run, so the Nationals lead 2-0 as we go to the bottom of the third.
Oakland wraps up on Father's Day, Sunday, June 18th. 15,000 fans will get a Marcus Semien starting lineup action figure presented by Ashby Lumber and Humboldt Redwood Company. Get tickets at athletics.com.
See that father right there, see, he's got it right. Take your son to the ball game, man, right?
So good.
That's good. One's an A's fan, one's a Nationals fan. Did you see the little guy sporting the shades on top of his hat?
Yeah,
probably a ball player.
Did it say Breezy on the side of his hat?
It does say Breezy.
It does say Breezy.
That's awesome.
Maybe a little nickname. That's awesome.
On the ground, shortstop Turner has it, throws across, and Trevor Plouffe is retired. So that's one out, and here comes Rajay Davis.
Batting in the ninth position, center fielder.
Only runner against Strasburg so far in the game was leadoff walk to Matt Joyce on 4 pitches. So that the wild streak for Strasburg didn't last very long.
No, he started. He looked very uncomfortable, and then the second he got that first strike or two, he started to lock it in a little more. We haven't seen maybe the strikeouts that we've seen in the past, but ball being put in play. But the A's haven't really been hitting anything hard.
0-1 the count to Raj Davis, hitting .203, couple of home runs, 12 RBIs. There's that good fastball, 98 miles an hour. Strasburg, in his last 2 starts, he's beat the Braves and he's beat the Padres. He's got a combined 26 strikeouts in those 2 starts. And he has won 5 consecutive starts. Take that back. He's won 4 out of his last 5 starts, but the team has won all 5. He's pitching good. How about that?
Well, and that pitch right there to Rajay, just a little cut fastball, 91 miles an hour. It's just enough of a wrinkle in it to keep you off that heater. I mean, that's the thing about him right now. As good as he is, he's commanding every pitch. I think he's going to go with the changeup.
So rotation for the Nationals last 10 games, a 2.05 ERA. There's Gio Gonzalez, Max Scherzer, Tanner Roark. I mean, it's a good rotation.
Yep.
Tyson Ross's brother Joe Ross, we'll see him tomorrow. He's a right-hander. So this is his last start, and this is the one you're talking about, Mark.
Yeah, 15 strikeouts. And you know, the Padres, they don't exactly have one of the best offenses in baseball, but that's not the point. You're striking out 15 guys, and he did it every which way. Right, just there in that highlight, we saw 4 different strikeout pitches. So that's what I'm talking about, the way he can get you out, the multiple options that he has. And I mean, Scherzer, when he takes him out, you're expecting a no-hitter almost every time, it seems.
This is Strasburg's 7th year in the big leagues. He has a career record of 75 and 42, and that's pretty darn good. Quick throw to first. If Rajay tries to swipe a bag. Strasburg, one of those guys, it's hard to get 3 hits off him in an inning.
Yeah.
Jay Davis with a big lead as always, not going, and the pitch is a strike to Joyce.
See it right there. That's just a slide step changeup. So you're quick to the plate. Rajay looking to get a jump. You can see the no leg kick. And it's a perfect changeup. And it's not something Joyce, it's a pitcher's pitch. Joyce doesn't want to swing at that. But now here it is. He gets ahead 0-1.
This one's hit high in the air, right center field. Near the wall is Taylor, and that baby's gone. This game is tied at 2.
Up a changeup with a fastball, you got to get it in. And you can see right there, this pitch comes back over the middle of the plate. And Joyce knew he got that. That's just a 4-seam fastball. It's kind of surprising, only 93 miles an hour. A little slower than what you normally see his fastball at. But like I said, you got to get that inside, especially 0-1. You can't miss middle, have it come back like that. I mean, just a great swing from Matt Joyce. He knew it. He admired it for a second. You got to watch that one.
And a nice play. Fan out there had his glove, stood up, and made the play. So home run number 6 for Matt Joyce. Second home run allowed on the road this season. The 5th home run total allowed by Strasburg. Pinder chops it toward Turner at short. 2 away. And that'll bring up Lowry.
Second baseman.
Lowry grounded out to first
Lowry.
in the first. Big matchup tonight in the American League West is Houston and Texas. Astros and the Rangers. And Dallas Keuchel is facing Yu Darvish. So how about that pitching matchup? Keuchel is 8-0. Darvish is 5-3. They are scoreless in the 3rd. The Astros just running away with it. But always a fun matchup to keep an eye on, the Astros and the Rangers. Broken bat right back to Strasburg. Underhands to first, side retired. But the A's have tied it thanks to Matt Joyce. A very long home run. Deep to right center field. His 6th of the year. 4th inning coming up. It's a 2-2 game.
California is brought to you by Caltrans Stormwater. Keep our highways clean. Protect our water. ProtectEveryDrop.com.
2-2 game, top of the 4th inning. A's and the Nationals, interleague baseball. First pitch to Rendon is in first strike. Looking at the history of the Nationals. This is their 13th year as a franchise, coming over from Montreal. They've been in the postseason 3 times. 2012, 2014, and last year, but they have not had postseason success just yet. They've had some very good teams. In the last 5 years, they have averaged 91 wins per game. So there's some teams that had enough talent to probably win a World Series, but they have not been able to get out of the first round. Triggs done a good job with shutdown innings, trying to do it here with Rendon, Wieters, and Taylor. slider just missed. Remember in 2012, that's the one that really hurt. They lost the division series in 5 games to St. Louis, and that's the series where in Game 5 they had the big lead early, and then they took a 7-5 lead going to the 9th inning at home, and they said, let's just get this thing over with. There's a line drive headed for the left field corner by Rendon, and Rendon's going to head into second with a leadoff double. So hit number 6 for the Nationals.
Well, you talked about just how good Rendon is and how he'd be hitting in the lineup or middle of the lineup in most other teams, and this is what he does. He sprays the ball all over the field. That's a fastball that's middle in, and it's up just enough. He gets to it, drives it down the line, and we saw his first at bat, the line out right to Lowry. He just kind of takes what you give him, whether it's in or out, and goes that way, goes that direction.
So here's Matt Wieters. Wieters taps it foul. So Game 5, 7-5 lead going to the top of the 9th, and the Cardinals score 4 times. And remember, it happened quick. It was like boom, 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 and that was it. Game over. Cardinals move on.
Yep. I still think, was that a couple years ago when Matt Williams took Zimmerman out?
Yeah, that was 2014.
Single-handedly, in my mind, the worst pitching change decision I've ever seen.
Yeah, that was not good. And
Jordan Zimmerman was cruising.
Yep. That was against the Giants. That was Game 2 of the division series, and
changed the whole series.
Changed it. You know what it did? Giants went on to win that very long game. I think it was 17, 18 innings. So they lost that series in 4 games to the Giants, and then last year, more heartbreak. They had a 2 games to 1 lead over the Dodgers, and the Dodgers won games 4 and 5 and won the series. So they've had some frustration in the postseason. There's a shot headed for the right field corner, and the Nationals are going to grab the lead right back. Rendon will trot home. Wieters will head into second with an RBI double. It's 3-2. This is what the Nationals do, folks. They are a dangerous group.
For Triggs to be effective, the ball has to be down. You can see where Stephen Vogt wants it. Down and away, almost looking for something to run off the plate. And this one middle in, and Wieters drives it down the right field line. The A's tied that up, and you get back-to-back doubles now. Give them the lead. Not exactly it's not really a shutdown inning, but after your team scores, you want to keep it right there.
Here's Michael Taylor, still nobody out. So 7 hits now for the Nationals. The A's have 1. Taylor homered in the 2nd. Lays off that pitch outside.
And here is that first home run that Triggs gave up, the breaking ball. Not a bad pitch, down and away. It's one of those as a pitcher, you almost just go, okay, Taylor, you just beat me to the spot. He was just looking for something out over the plate.
So now the count 3-0. Brian Goodwin, the 9th place hitter, waits in the on-deck circle.
For Triggs, you got to stay aggressive. These balls he's left up, the home runs, the second one was up. You got to keep your aggressiveness. You can't try and pick it all.
That one's in for a strike. .62 pitches for Triggs with nobody out here in the 4th inning. Long look back at Wieters, and a slider on the inside corner.
This is a good breaking ball on the inner half, and Taylor there again looking for something out over the plate, and that's why he froze on that breaking ball inside.
And the slider is looped down the right field line. Joyce over. Wieters is going to tag, and Wieters is going to try for third. Joyce's throw is cut off, and Taylor gets the job done, hits the ball in the air to the right side. So it's a productive out.
Number 8, Brian Goodwin.
So now Brian Goodwin comes up, a left-handed hitter, and the A's look like they're going to bring the infield in.
Well, when Joyce gets to this, he gets behind it pretty well. He makes a good throw, but it's just too deep to really have any sort of chance of getting Wieters at third. But a productive out, though. Move that runner over.
So the infield is indeed in. And the first pitch is a strike on the outside corner. Goodwin had a base hit in the second inning. Triggs tried that outside corner again and missed. Rolls it foul. Goodwin was the 34th player chosen in the 2011 draft. Got to the big leagues last year a little bit with the Nationals. Some pretty good years in the minor leagues. And he chased the slider down and in. Vogt tags him, and that's a big strikeout. So strikeout number 3 for Triggs.
And a big strikeout, like you said. He went away with that breaking ball, and right there you're using somebody's aggressiveness against him. He's trying to put the ball in play, make something happen, get that runner in from third. And when you're being aggressive like that, you can expand that strike zone, and a good slider underneath his hands.
So now Triggs has got to get Trey Turner. Turner has struck out, and he has grounded out. Turner is very fast. One of the fastest players in the National League. He played some center field last year. But this is his natural spot. Sinker in for a strike. Part of a big 3-team trade back in December of 2015 with the Nationals, the Padres, and the Pirates. That's a backhanded attempt by Lowry. Can't get it, and it's going to go as a hit as Wieters comes in to score, and it's 4-2. So it was a hard hit ball. I think it would have been hard to throw out Turner because he can run so well.
Yeah, as fast as Turner is, I really don't know if Lowry would have had a chance. This ball hit very hard. But if Lowry is able to glove that and just turn and throw all in one motion, it would have been bang, bang. But that's a tough one. You get that big second out, you get that strikeout. It's a tough run to give up in that situation.
And now Worth will hit. Turner has 13 stolen bases. He's been thrown out twice. So keep a close eye on him. Nationals as a team have 30 stolen bases, 4th in the league.
Well, we talked early about how patient these guys are, this entire lineup. The at-bats that they've put on Triggs, they've been tough. I mean, he's gotten to 2 strikes a few different times. Even some of their outs have been hard hits, hard hit balls.
That one pops off the glove of Vogt. Turner's going to hustle over to second. Yeah, they kind of grind on a pitcher, but not only do they grind, then they can do big damage.
Yeah. And you can see some of their, like that Turner at bat was a good example. You get into the count a little bit and look what he's trying to do. He's just trying to shoot something back up the middle. And that's exactly what he does. And this one, Triggs just gets on the side of, maybe trying to make it move a little bit too much. You get your hand on the side of the ball, and Stephen Vogt, you ask him, that's probably one he still has to catch, but he didn't think it was going to have quite that much movement on it. Once it starts going, it just keeps on running away from you.
It goes as a wild pitch. So 1-1 the count to Worth, who has singled and lined to right. Slider stays inside. Worth pretty good with runners in scoring position, a 308 average. Nationals as a team, 297. And now 3-1. Worth has been around a long time. This is his 15th year in the big leagues. Just turned 38 years old on the 20th of May. Put it all together when he got to Philadelphia. That's where he became a very good everyday player. Takes a 3-1 fastball first round.
Well, I remember when they signed him to that contract.
Long one, yeah.
And I specifically remember going, they did what? You know, but that was part of that building process. They knew who they had coming. The draft picks, Strasburg drafting him high.
Runner goes, and the pitch is outside, and it's going to be a stolen base for Turner. So a walk and a stolen base. So we're going to get some bullpen action. Triggs his first
Now
walk.
batting, number 20, Daniel Murphy.
Montas taking the jacket off. Kurt Young heading out. Hey, you're right. It was a 7-year contract that they gave Jason Worth, and I agree. I felt the same way. It's like, wow, that's a lot for him, anyways. Even though he's a pretty good player, but what was the thought process? But
he also,
soon after that, they became good because those young guys you're talking about started to get to the big leagues.
Well, and plus the other thing that was surprising was Worth was hit 5th, 6th in the order. It's not like he was the number 3 or 4 hitter. That's when they had Chase Utley, Ryan Howard, Jimmy Rollins. I mean, they had a lineup there.
Yeah, he was not a middle of the order hitter, but he did a lot of damage down in the order. Or here, he's been hitting second because he has a pretty good eye.
Yep.
Here's tough out Daniel Murphy. He has singled, and then in the 3rd inning, he did this.
Get me over breaking ball. Stephen Vogt wanted it away, just kind of came right into Daniel Murphy, drove it out to right center. He is an exceptional hitter. He's so quiet at the plate.
Yeah, we showed the replay, that side shot of his swing. He really just kind of lifts up his foot just a little bit, puts it right back down. So there's really not a lot of unnecessary movement.
Yep.
Two runs in, 3 hits. There's been a walk, and this one is hit right up the middle. Another hit for Murphy as Turner comes in to score, and now it's 5-2. Well, Daniel Murphy 3 for 3.
There's been a lot of talk in the last few years about guys going to work with Daniel Murphy in the winter. And he's so knowledgeable and he's such a good hitter And the work that he puts in is starting to become known to other players, and not just guys on his team. There's guys on other teams that have worked with him from time to time, and you see how that swing right there from behind, you see how quiet he is. It's a slower breaking ball, whether it's a fastball in, a slow breaking ball, still able to keep his hands back.
So Bob Melvin has seen enough. It's been a lot of pitches thrown by Andrew Triggs and really trouble every inning. So when it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change, tune-up, and repair experts.
California is brought to you by Humboldt Redwood. Naturally strong, naturally beautiful Humboldt Redwood arbors, pergolas, and timbers.
So 3 runs here in the 4th inning by the Nationals has knocked Andrew Triggs out of the game after 3 2/3. So Frankie Montas comes in. He'll face the cleanup hitter Ryan Zimmerman. Worth is at second. Murphy's at first. Zimmerman is 0 for 2. First pitch is a touch outside. 19th appearance for the big right-hander Frankie Montas. No record, 4.73 ERA. Slider is low, and now it's 2-0. That's the thing too with that patience you're talking about. You see good hitters who are patient. Get yourself in hitters' counts.
Yep. And you can see Murphy with Alonso way off the bag. Look how far Murphy's out there. He's standing sideways so his peripheral vision, so he can keep an eye on Alonso, maybe ducking in behind him.
It's a good base running.
Yeah.
He can go out there as far as he wants. He could go another step.
He could probably take 2 or 3 more steps, because by the time Alonso, if he were to break toward the plate, you still have time to get back, because Alonso's got to slow down to get to the bag to try to catch the ball if Montas were to throw it.
Good swing by Zimmerman. He got a 2-1 fastball. Matt Wieters has an RBI double in this inning. 4 hits and a walk so far for the Nationals. Foul straight back. A slider that kind of hung out in the middle of the plate a little bit.
Zimmerman and Rendon. Zimmerman and Rendon are the two guys in this lineup that'll probably hit more foul balls than anybody else. They just battle. They keep waiting for that one pitch.
Broken bat, that's going to drop for a hit. Worth rounds third, he's going to score. Murphy hustles over to third, and now it's 6-2 as the Nationals have scored 4 times. So that was not hit very hard. It actually was a broken bat.
No, it wasn't. It's a fastball down that Zimmerman gets off the end of the bat, but there's a reason these guys don't strike out much. They find a way to put the ball in play. It doesn't have to be hit that hard. You can see Zimmerman going down to get that, staying through it, staying in the big part of the field, going back up the middle, driving that run in.
And you know what you're seeing too, Mark? You're seeing a good team that's hot.
Without a doubt.
That makes them a great team.
Yep.
Giants saw it earlier in this week. They swept them in San Francisco, and a good team is a good team, and then when they're hot, boy, oh boy. And the Nationals are. They have won 8 out of 10.
And when you look back at Triggs' start, each ball, now granted, they hit some other balls that were down, but each ball that was left up, the Nationals were all over it.
They don't miss it. Adam Lynn fouls it straight back.
Good teams take advantage of your mistakes. As a pitcher, you're going to make mistakes through a game. Sometimes they're fouled back. And when you play a hot team like the Nationals are, they're not going to miss those mistakes.
All good for Dusty Baker right now. And this lineup is kind of put it on autopilot. Write those names down and go get them. Two-one to Lynn. And now 3 and very close pitch.
That's a pitch you want. It's a 2-1 count. It's a big pitch. Must have been called down.
So 3-1 with runners at the corners. This is the 9th man to hit in this inning, and it's a walk. So now the bases are loaded as the inning rolls on, and here's Anthony Rendon. Funny, you see this lineup, and then you drop Bryce Harper right in the middle of it.
As good as they
Murphy's hitting in Harper's spot, so you got to get Murphy out of there.
So at commercial, we're talking about Murphy finishing second last year in the MVP. Okay, well, Zimmerman is a leading MVP candidate now, a third of the way through the season.
And Harper's always going to be an MVP
And Harper's
candidate.
Always going to be. So they have 3 legit MVP candidates in
exactly
one
right.
lineup.
That's a good call. First pitch to Rendon. Slider first strike. Rendon led off this inning with a double. He had a line drive into the left field corner. He was also lined out to second, so he's 1 for 2. Zach Neal starts to throw. The count 1-1. These two are realizing, Mark, is the Nationals have done a good job drafting.
Without a doubt.
And that's huge. Anthony Rendon is a #1 draft pick. He was the 6th player taken in 2011. Of course, Harper was #1 pick. Strasburg a #1 pick. Zimmerman a #1 pick. So you start looking at that, and that's how you do it. You sign a free agent here and there. Like a Max Scherzer, that's going to cost you a lot of money, but you have 4 #1 picks on your roster, and I could be missing one somewhere. Who knows? Make some good trades. Get Gio Gonzalez.
Trey Turner.
I
mean, he was still a. I believe he was a high draft pick. Still not with. Not
yeah,
by
I think
them.
you're right. I think you're right.
We already said what Goodwin. He's not even a starter, but he was a high draft pick.
Rendon lays off, and now it's 3-2. Yeah, that's a good call, Mark. Trey Turner was a #1 pick of the San Diego Padres. He was the 13th player taken in 2014, so you're right.
Yeah.
So not by the Nationals, but a #1 pick nonetheless. 3-2, 2 outs, bases loaded. That one's looped down the right field line. Joyce hustling over, and Joyce will get there. Side retired. So when it's all said and done, the Nationals score 4 times. They lead 6-2 as we go to the bottom of the 4th.
Your #1 mobile app for Live A's baseball. Stay connected with a fully customizable experience. Get A's home screen icons and app features as well as game day, live game video highlights, radio broadcasts, StatCast, news, and more. Download MLB.com at bat today.
So work to do for the A's, trailing 6-2 in the bottom of the 4th inning as Chris Davis leads it off. Davis hit a fly ball to center field in the 1st inning. Twins leading the Angels 6-0 in the 5th inning down in Anaheim. Of course, Albert Pujols, we're keeping an eye on that. He is 1 home run away from number 600.
Well, that was about 29 minutes between pitches for Steven Strasburg.
That's all.
That half inning. It's a long sit when you're sitting there. I mean, hey, it's a good feeling as a pitcher when they're scoring you all those runs, but it's a long time sitting there.
It's a long time sitting anywhere. 1-2 the count to Davis. Alonso to follow, and then Healy. Mariners with an 8-0 lead over the Rays in the 4th inning. In Seattle. Tapped at the plate. The Astros and the Rangers still scoreless in the 4th inning. How about that? A couple of home runs for Chris Davis in his career off Steven Strasburg. sharp slider. Maybe a curveball, more of a curveball than a slider.
Yeah, he throws it a little harder. He had a true slider when he was younger. Kind of got rid of it and went to the cutter. And then that overhand curveball. And it's hard, too. It's firm.
Fastball, foul up over our heads to our right.
These are the times with 2 strikes you'll see Strasburg. He'll show that breaking ball down and away, and that pitch he's trying to elevate that. When he throws 94 to 97, 8 at times, he'll try to elevate that pitch and throw it by the guy. He'll get a lot of strikeouts doing that.
Good battle here. Strasburg went to 97 miles an hour.
This is where he can throw that change up. He can go back to the curveball. He's going to go with a little cutter away.
Davis spoils a pretty good pitch. Lefty. Lefty with the Rawlings mitt.
I like those guys.
And a gentleman as well. How about that? I always like to see that. Look at the smile on that little guy's face. Center field and hit a ton. Taylor going back. Taylor near the wall. Got it. So Davis just got underneath it, and that's the first out.
You see Strasburg shaking his head. And he's shaking his head because he went to that cutter away. And you can see it's a backup. No break. Stays middle, and Chris Davis just gets underneath that. I mean, this nighttime air is the only thing that kept that in the park. And Taylor goes back, and he just camps right underneath it.
So that ball sat right in the middle of the plate, and that's why Strasburg not happy with himself. There's yonder Alonso, who takes down and away. Alonso struck out in the second. That's the only strikeout for Strasburg. So 1 strikeout in 3 1/3 innings after striking out 15 his last time. Driven to right. That one's hit well. Goodwin going back. Goodwin near the wall, and it bounces off the middle of the wall, and Alonso's going to have a double.
Well, he challenges him with a fastball, and it's just middle, and he's lucky Alonso kept that ball in the park. He's lucky it stayed in because that ball was middle, and Alonso with a good swing on it. Just didn't get it quite high enough, and you can see Goodwin go back to the wall. He knows he's got someone backing him up. The ball ricochets off, and Alonso easily into second base.
So here's Ryan Healy. Healy hit a line drive to right center field. Looked like a sure double back in the second inning, but right fielder Brian Goodwin made a great diving backhanded play. So Healy 0 for 1. 9 home runs, 24 RBIs for Ryan Healy. It's just played by Goodwin. Full extension.
You can see how far he goes. We both thought it was going to end up in the gap, and the ball just kind of fell and faded right towards him, and Goodwin laying out makes a great catch.
Healy hits one toward right. Goodwin goes toward the line this time, and he shows off a pretty good arm, gets it back in quickly, and that's out number 2. So with Stephen Vogt stepping up, let's see what's going on with Angelo.
Well, if you're looking for the perfect Father's Day gift for the discerning A's fan, look no further and pick up one of these limited edition MLB authenticated broken bat bottle openers. They are very limited, and there's a Ryan Healy bat. This one on top is Chris Davis, and below is Stephen Vogt. It's got the leather strap on there and the engraving. You can pick it up at the MLB Ballpark app or at section 120 in the stadium, but they will be going fast, so pick yours up right now. Guys, back up to you.
So what a great idea.
It's pretty cool.
A broken bat. Get a bottle opener. Not a bad idea. So all this time I thought Voos was just throwing those bats away. He's downstairs.
Either that or he had a nice warm fire.
He's whittling away, make bottle openers.
He's back there chopping it up.
Voos, he can do it, boy. That's right, in that back room that Voos has. He's been working on this.
Either that or he takes the bats home and throws them in the fire, one of the two.
1-1 to Vogt, who had a fly ball to right field in the second inning. Good swing, rattles cage a little bit of Matt Wieters.
Well, that one I couldn't tell if it got the mask or the shoulder first, but went right off that padding.
So 1-2 the count. Watch how low he gets, Mark. And it's a swing and a miss by Vogt, and that's the second strikeout for Strasburg, and the A's strand a runner. Fifth inning coming up. 6-2 Nationals.
Sports California is brought to you by 21st Amendment. Enjoy a pint of Blood Orange Brew free at the San Francisco Pub or the new San Leandro Brewery and Tap Room.
6-2, the Nationals lead the Athletics. Must be the Shibe Park Tavern. Top of the fifth. And the new pitcher is Zach Neal. So third pitcher of the night for the Athletics. When it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change, tune-up, and repair expert. So the numbers for Neal. Pitched on Monday against the Indians, and he pitched extremely well. So that was his first appearance this year for the A's. Facing Wieters, Taylor, and Goodwin. Matt Wieters has struck out and doubled in a run. That was in the 4th inning when the Nationals scored 4 times.
Well, and another good opportunity for Neal to kind of try and keep this ball game where it is. 6-2. Give the A's a chance. Put up a couple zeros. Give the A's a chance. Try to score a few more. Get back in this.
Strike 3 called at the knees on the outside corner. It's a good pitch by Neal. Wieters may not have thought that it was all that great of a pitch.
Yeah, I don't think Wieters was happy with it. Going with that changeup down at the bottom of the zone. There's been a couple called there tonight.
Number 3, Michael Taylor.
So with 1 out, here's Michael Taylor, who got the scoring going for the Nationals with a solo home run in the 2nd inning. Taylor also hit a fly ball to right field in the 4th. Four runs and 5 hits in that inning. The Nationals.
Well, something we didn't really see enough of from Triggs. You saw Zach Neal, that first pitch right there to Taylor, how it got in on his hands. Neal went in a handful of times, but he missed a few times in. When you're not getting strikes called on the inner half of the plate, it kind of allows the team to just kind of hang out over the plate, try to hit everything back up the middle, hit it the other way, look for something away. And the Nationals, as good as they are and as hot as they are, we talked about it, I mean, they took full advantage of it. They never really concerned themselves with anything on the inner half.
Up and in, 1-2.
It's one thing to pitch inside, but if everything's running in and off the plate and it's not a strike, a hitter doesn't have to concern himself with it. He can start diving and looking out over.
Broken bat toward Pinder. Pinder on the run, shows off that strong arm, and that's the 2nd. So when you're out there pitching, how long did it take you to realize what the opposing lineup's game plan against you was? Did you need to go once through the lineup, or could you kind of tell?
You know what? Whether they're looking to maybe try to go the other way more. I mean, I was a sinker ball guy and I pitched away a lot. So yes, there were times, but I always thought if I have a good one, they're still going to hit it into the ground.
Yeah.
So the approach sometimes happens because maybe what you're trying to do to them.
That one's going to get into right field, and Goodwin has his 2nd hit. But you can also overthink that too, right?
Without a doubt, without a doubt. But you know, like I said, with Triggs not commanding anything inside, if say you're a sinker ball guy and you're going away all the time and you're constantly missing, but yet your slider, you're getting that over for a strike, well, then they're going to adjust and they're going to start to look off speed. You know, and that's why there's certain pitchers around baseball, like lots of times you'll hear someone say that guy pitches backwards. Well, maybe he commands his off-speed pitches better than he does his fastball.
Maybe it's not backwards to him.
Exactly.
Well, I always thought too, as time has gone on, I mean, that term pitching backwards, really, I mean, I guess baseball has always thought of, hey, get ahead with fastballs and then breaking balls later to get guys
that's
out.
The point. Yep.
So pitching backwards would be maybe some breaking balls earlier in the count. I think you see that more now than you did 25 years ago. Probably.
Yeah. There is no right way to be successful. You have to own it, what you have. And when a young kid or any pitcher, when you start to understand what you can do, and I've said this before, what you can do and what you can't do, you see guys start to be more successful. And I always thought with the stuff Steven Strasburg, I'll use him as an example. Earlier in his career, it seemed like he tried to strike out everybody. Now you're starting to see someone who understands what he can do and what he can't. And it's okay to not strike everybody out. It's good to get some quick outs. You start going deeper into games. Strasburg used to be at 100 pitches by the time he got to 5 1/3. Yeah. Now we've seen him he's gone into the 7th inning numerous times, 8th inning a few times this season. He's made it through 7 innings 7 times this season.
He wouldn't have done that 3 years ago.
No, not a chance. But that goes to show you how much better he is still getting. What, this is his 7th year, I believe?
2 pitches hit to center. Rajai Davis backs up. He's got it. Turner's retired, and so are the Nationals, and the A's keep him off the board. Bottom of the 5th coming up, 6-2 Washington. Bring you the happy hour, also available to listen live and as a podcast on NBCSportsBayArea.com. Steven Strasburg back to work, and the first pitch to Trevor Plouffe is hit down the right field line, and that is a foul ball, and it's caught by Goodwin, and that's out number 1. First base umpire Quinn Walcott pointed that right arm into foul territory.
Now batting center fielder.
And that'll bring up Rajai Davis.
Rajai Davis.
I want one of those.
That just made me hungry.
Yeah, that's nice though. That's like, it's like a hot dog vendor on the street in New York City. That's a good idea. They have good hot dogs outside the stadium. Toronto. Telling you, seriously.
Really?
Grilled, sliced a little bit. Yeah. Oh my goodness. That's the real deal.
I mean, he's got all this condiments right on top.
Look at that. Good system. Rajai Davis hits one high in the air toward the center fielder Michael Taylor, who grabs it. So a couple of fly ball outs here in the bottom of the 5th inning. So look for the gentleman with the
now batting right fielder
referee jersey on.
Matt Joyce.
I'll bring up Matt Joyce, who did this in the 3rd, a long.
Well, that ball's launched. It went about as high as it went far, and it went a long ways. He almost got it back up towards the bottom of the suites by the windows there.
First pitch to Joyce is a little bit low. Strasburg thought it was a strike.
I think a lot of other people thought that was a strike too.
Yep. Speaking of a lot of other people, the crowd tonight, 20,813 on a Friday night. Scattered about. Not enough to cheer about so far. Best thing to do would try to get into that Nationals bullpen. It's a bullpen that overall statistically has not been very good this year, but they've been good recently. Right now, Steven Strasburg had 62 pitches, so his pitch count's pretty good shape. Pitch, and Joyce chased a high fastball. Looked like it may have been a little bit up out of the strike zone.
Just an elevated fastball. Most likely would have been ball 4, but it's over with. 3-2. He's still got to come at you with a strike here.
And he did. Fastball. Fouled left side.
You know, the other interesting thing with Strasburg, we talked about his improvements. You know, Dusty was always known, no matter what team he was with, the pitchers went deeper into games. And this year, there's only been 2 games where Strasburg has not thrown over 100 pitches.
And missed outside. I always thought that was a little unfair criticism of Dusty Baker about the guys in Chicago.
Yeah.
Had the big horses in Chicago.
Yeah. Listen,
you know, he used them too much. Used them too much.
You
come on.
They're better than any other option.
Yes, they are.
And this is kind of what shows that. Averaging just over 105 pitches. You see all 4 of those guys. But you know what? All 4 of those guys are pitching really well.
Exactly.
And what do you expect?
They're on 105 pitches.
I know.
That's not crazy. And I don't think any of those guys are going to run out of gas in September. Now, if it's a young pitcher, a rookie who's getting into August and September for the first time, then it may be a little different. These guys have been around for a long time.
My whole argument is if you don't ever throw 110, 115 pitches, then how are you supposed to expect your guys to go deep into games and be good deep in games? You know, all these numbers say, oh, 3rd, 4th time through the order, pitchers, you know, they can't do it. Well, if you don't ever let them do it, how are they supposed to show you they can't? And that's what I love is Dusty believes in his guys, and he's going to put you out there, and he's going to give you a chance to succeed. And all that does when you have those moments, you're going to get better and better.
So 3-0 to Pinder. Pinder is grounded to second and grounded to short. Right in there for a strike. Dusty got treated a little unfairly in Chicago.
Yeah.
Of course, he was there for 2003, whatever you want to call that, playoffs where they lost to the Marlins. Swing and a miss on 3-1. Now it's 3-2. So the runner at first, that's Matt Joyce. He'll take off. Not being held on, he goes, and a slider and a swing and a miss by Pinder. Maybe that was that cut fastball. 92 miles an hour. How about that? So 3 strikeouts for Strasburg. Nationals lead.
On Saturday, July 1st, the team will wear black jerseys from the era, and 15,000 fans will receive a dual bobblehead of Miguel Tejada and Barry Zito, presented by New Era Caps. For tickets to this game against the Braves, visit athletics.com/promotions.
Top of the 6th, it'll be Worth, Murphy, and Zimmerman. The Nationals leading 6-2.
So I got to say something.
Yeah.
They're doing the turn back the clock with the black jerseys.
Yeah.
I didn't like them.
Really? Why not?
I pitched terrible in them.
Really?
So I never wore them.
So
I think I wore them once, and I pitched bad, so I never wore them again.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you. You know what I'm disappointed about is that the fact that you're working here and Hudson's not working here, Zito's not working here, but Tim Hudson just won the race up on the scoreboard with the big 3. Does that happen?
I don't know.
I mean, look at that.
I got a forearm shiver.
Yeah, thank you. That's not right. And Huddy wins with the stinger. Thumbs down. That's a straight thumbs down. Vince Catroni was like, how come you didn't win?
Right. Hey, at least I'm a cartoon character, though.
Yes, you are.
I mean, that's kind of special. Not gonna lie.
Not as a derogatory.
Yeah, exactly.
That one is hit to left. Davis hustling back, turning around, and it is gone. Dropped up on the shelf above the out-of-town scoreboard for a Jason Worth home run to make it 7-2. Just got over the wall, but it doesn't matter.
Well, this isn't the first time the Nationals stayed back on a breaking ball. Worth didn't get all of this. Got that towards the end of the bat, but got enough of it just up on top of the scoreboard. And it's just the Nationals taking advantage of A's mistakes. And we said it earlier, you're facing a hot team. They're not going to miss those, and they aren't, or they haven't in this game.
Well, speaking of hot, here's Daniel Murphy. Single, homer, single. He's got 2 RBIs. Bounces this one to Alonso, who grabs the big hop. So that's out number 1 here in the 6th inning. Let's take a look at that Worth swing again.
Oh, watch the hands stay back. You know, it's a short swing. He's a tall guy. He's 6'5", I think.
Number 11.
He's a big guy, but man, that bat stays through that zone so long. And I think that's why you see him hit a lot of balls to the center He hits a lot of balls to center field, right center, especially late in the count.
And here's Zimmerman. Goes after the first pitch and bounces it foul. Carlos Correa has hit a 3-run homer for the Astros. So the Astros lead the Rangers 3-0 in the 6th. We showed you the month of May that the Astros fine young shortstop had. So he's carrying it into June. Quickly 0-2 to Ryan Zimmerman. Not 0-2, 1-1 the count, excuse me. Good swing there. Ryan Zimmerman. Second in the franchise in home runs, second in RBIs, tied for second in runs. Fourth in hits, over 1,500 hits. He's had a very good career. Remember, he started out as a third baseman, but he's had some shoulder problems, had trouble throwing, and they moved him to first. Made the adjustment.
Yeah, it was tough watching him play third there for a little while.
He can hit. Alonso into foul territory, into the coach's box. He's got it, and that's out number 2. And that'll bring up Adam Lind.
That also could be a big part why you see Zimmerman hitting so well.
26,
you know, you take
Adam
that stress.
Lind.
He's now playing first base full time. That's your spot. You don't have to worry. You know, that whole throwing issue that he had, what that does to you mentally, makes the game a whole lot more fun when you don't have to worry about that.
You know, Mark, we've been talking about this Nationals lineup and the fact that it's without Bryce Harper, but let's not forget, they traded for Adam Eaton, the center fielder from the White Sox.
Yep.
And Eaton was having a very fine season, but he tore up his knee, and he is out for the year. He had surgery on his knee, so that was a very disappointing loss for the Nationals. Happened in early May. But Eaton was hitting .297 in the first 23 games. And Eaton's a pretty good player. He's got a long-term contract, so he's going to be a big part of the Nationals for a long time, but not this year. He's out for the year. But how about that? You put Eaton in the leadoff spot, put Bryce Harper in there, then you see what this is all about for the Nationals. And the Nationals, all of the players in their lineup except for Worth are signed past next year. Worth is a free agent after this year. So Dusty will be able to run this same lineup out there for the most part next year as well. Pinder has it. The shift was on. Lind is retired. So a solo home run by Jason Worth. The Nationals now lead 7-2. Sports Bay Area Sunday to be Game 2. The coverage starts at 3:30. You can get the coverage with the team you've watched all season long. Papa Saint, Helena, Roz, and Monty. So a very impressive Game 1 win last night by the Golden State Warriors. And they will try to take full command of that series tomorrow. Tip-off at 5 o'clock right there at Oracle Arena.
I'm going.
Yeah, I know, I'm jealous.
Yeah.
Rubbing it in. Well, I'll just watch it on TV at home. That'll be fun.
Yeah.
So you can walk right over there. See Steph Curry do his hallway shot and then get ready for the game.
Yeah, it's a real long walk. About 20 feet.
That's great. You'll have a good time. Games 3 and 4 will be in Cleveland Wednesday and Friday of next week. Oh, 0-1 to Lowry, leading things off here for the A's in the 6th, and he lines one. Murphy dropped it, picks it up, throws late, and Lowry's aboard. So Murphy had it. It really was not a difficult play. It just popped out of his glove. So as we wait for the ruling on that, let's go downstairs to Angela.
Well, starting tomorrow, it is Play Ball Weekend, which is a joint initiative between MLB and USA Baseball to get the next generation participating in baseball activities. So one of the ways that we'd like fans to support is to bring your new or used baseball equipment to Sunday's game. Yep, it's an equipment drive, and the donations will be collected at the C-Gate, the D-Gate, and Bart Plaza before the game. All donations will benefit the Oakland Cal Ripken Baseball League, and this initiative is in partnership with the Baseball Tomorrow Fund. And, you know, if you bring in your new or used equipment, there's also the Play Ball Bat and Ball set giveaway, so you can go home with that. Guys, back up to you.
Good stuff. Thank you, Angela. Chris Davis bounces one foul. So that was an error on Murphy. Nationals, who commit their 28th error of the year, they're fourth in the National League in fielding. Murphy can't believe he dropped it.
Well, it makes you wonder if he just took his eye off it, or if it was knuckling in any way. And here's that replay. He just got.
Snow cone there for a moment.
Yeah, you can't say he really took his eye off it or anything. I mean, it's just a soft line drive that you're going to catch that. Can't even say 9 out of 10 times. I mean,
more than that, probably.
You're going to catch that almost every single time. Just not that one.
So 1-2 to Chris Davis, who has hit a pair of fly balls to center field. Curveball, Davis tried to hold up, couldn't do it. Davis angrily slams his bat. So that's 4 strikeouts for Strasburg.
Now batting first
You don't
baseman.
see Chris Davis show frustration very often, but he certainly did there.
No, he doesn't, but it's a good breaking ball. You can see the bite to that. You can see Wieters. Watch Wieters point back at Strasburg like that. Boy, that's a good one right there. We just need Davis to replace his divot.
Yep. So 1 away. Here's Yonder Alonso. Swinging and a foul tip. Alonso has a strikeout and a double so far. Albert Pujols has not homered tonight. Twins are still leading the Angels 7-2. Albert must have got him. It must have been a milestone or 2 in there somewhere when you were playing with him, right? He's going for 600.
Oh, I'm sure I was there, probably there for 3 and
maybe 3 and
maybe 4.
Yeah.
Somewhere right around there. Kind of seemed like there were a lot of milestones, though, when you're playing with him. At least at that time. Because everything that came up was kind of like what you see with Trout now, where you're passing some of the greats in the amount of games and at certain ages and things like that.
Yeah, when you're putting up numbers like that, especially now with Pujols, where he's getting later in his career, where he's passing just huge names.
Yep.
Cubbies beat the Cardinals today, 3-2 in Chicago. So that's the big Midwest rivalry. You like pitching at Wrigley?
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, my first, growing up in Chicago, I grew up a White Sox fan, so Cubs were never really a big thing. But I think it was the second time I ever went to Wrigley was me starting for the A's in interleague play.
Oh, really? Okay.
I went to one game, and it wasn't until I was 20 years old or something. That was my first Cubs game.
Sure.
And then game 2 was pitching with Oakland.
Runs off the plate. So the count 2-2 to Alonso. Cubs struggling a little bit. They did win today, but they're 26-27. Can't imagine that at some point they won't just kick it into that next gear. Again, too many good players. Good pitch. And that is strikeout number 5 for Strasburg. So he's pumping fastballs in there. He's snapping off sliders, and then he throws you this.
Yeah, we saw the curveball to strike out Davis, and here's the changeup. And when you're seeing 96, 97, and all of a sudden you get 89, 90, especially coming out of the same arm slot, good arm action, it's hard not to go after that.
Wouldn't you say, Mark, that there's different kinds of changeups? Most guys throw a changeup where they want you to make contact, right? Takes the sting out of the bat. But Strasburg's changeup is more of a strikeout pitch.
Well, there's changeups and there's put-away changeups.
Yeah.
A strikeout type changeup. And yeah, Strasburg, that's what makes him special, is because he can go to these pitches early in the count to get strikes or to get early outs, quick outs, but he can also put you away with them too.
Good pitch there, and the count 1-1 to Healy. The only thing with Strasburg is he's got to stay healthy. He was on the disabled list a couple times last year. He was on the disabled list a couple times in 2015. He had the Tommy John in 2011. The only year he's gone over 200 innings was 2014. That was his best year. He threw 215 innings. So he did not miss any time.
He's also been a guy who's dealt with cramps.
Yeah, he's had
times.
some different types of injuries.
Yep.
Healthy so far this year and making his 11th start and having a great season. And the 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss by Healy. So after the air, Strasburg comes back, picks up his defense by striking out the next 3 hitters. Orioles. On this date in 2004, Mark Kotsay hits his first home run as a member of the Athletics. It was a good one. It was a walk-off against the Chicago White Sox. And he's won that game 3-2. Look at those names, Dye, Crosby. There's a Mulder in there somewhere. 2004. Now, Mark Kotsay wears a sweatshirt, puts seeds in his front pocket. Pretty good bench coach.
Those are some fun teams. Great guys on those teams, man.
2004, you guys came right down to the end. Just came up a little bit short, right?
Yep.
Rendon, Wieters, and Taylor. Is that Neal? Into his third inning of work. He's given up one run. That was the Worth home run. Rendon has lined out, doubled, and scored, and hit a fly ball to right field. He batted twice in the fourth inning. That's the inning that the Nationals scored 4 times.
Well, there's another chance. A's pitcher ahead in the count. Neal with a 1-2 count. Got to put away these guys, put away these hitters.
Davis coming in, and Chris Davis grabs it. So 1 away here in the top of the 7th inning.
Now batting, number 32, Matt Wieters.
Blue Jays stayed hot. They beat the Yankees tonight 7-5 in Toronto. Liriano over Pineda. So the Blue Jays have won 9 out of 11. So they're only 5.5 games out. AL East is going to be fun because I just don't see a dominant team, and there's not a team that's just flat out bad either. How about the? I mean, the Rays are pretty good.
They are. They're a team. I don't know if I expect them to really contend toward the end of the season. I kind of feel like when you look at those other 4 teams, I mean, you'd kind of expect them to be better, but boy, it's going to be. I mean, it could be one of those where there's 3 teams a game apart,
Yeah,
with a couple days left of the season.
Question. We'll see those Blue Jays Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Aaron Judge hit a home run for the Yankees, his 18th of the year in a losing effort. Donaldson hit a couple of home runs. So the Blue Jays, always very powerful, now starting to roll. Wieters shoots it foul. Orioles beat the Red Sox 3-2 in Baltimore. Rick Porcello took the loss. He pitched fairly well, but he's 3-7 now. Last year he was 22-4. Won the Cy Young.
He also led baseball in run support last year.
Yes, he
too,
did.
by a wide margin.
Didn't get it tonight. Seth Smith and Manny Machado homered for Baltimore. Sandoval homered for the Red Sox. Both New York and Boston lose. High in the air to right, playable for Joyce. A couple of fly ball outs here in the 7th inning. Tigers beat the White Sox 15-5 in Detroit.
Now batting,
Derek Holland, who had been pitching
Michael
well,
Taylor.
gave up 8 earned runs in 2 1/3 innings. That's an ouch. And the Royals shut out the Indians in Kansas City. Vargas over Tomlin. Vargas with a complete game. Somebody's going to trade for Jason Vargas. He's having a great year, and he's a free agent. Kind of a crafty left-hander. He shut down the A's in Kansas City this year. 0-2 to Michael Taylor, who has homered, hit a fly ball to right, and grounded is short. There's a line drive and a base hit. Well, there's your 0-2 count, Mark. So Taylor's going to hustle for second, and he's going to make it. Standing up. So that's a double for Michael Taylor.
Well, and that's a pitch you can't do that. You have to get something off the plate, try to get them to chase. Stephen Vogt wanted that down and away. And I'm even kind of surprised. I'm a little surprised at the pitch selection. If you're going to go with that, you gotta, if you're Vogt, you gotta set up off the plate. You can't take a chance of letting that ball come back over the plate the way that did. If you want to throw something a few inches off, maybe try to get a weak swing, set up the next pitch, that's fine, but you got to get it out there.
So here's Brian Goodwin. Goodwin has singled a couple times to right field. He's 2 for 3. Taylor, very good speed at second base. One is just a touch low. Looks like a pretty good pitch.
Well, this is just more to the patience of these Nationals hitters. Great 1-0 changeup, but Goodwin looking for something up in the zone.
Takes it again, and it's 3-0.
You can see out of the hand, he gave up on both those pitches. He saw him down a little and just didn't even offer at it. When you're facing a sinker ball guy, kind of same as Triggs, you got to look for something up. It's got to start a little higher with the sink that they have and the movement.
A 3-0 pitch poured in there, first strike. Goodwin playing right field for the Nationals. And this one is hit to right center and hit well. Rajay Davis to the wall, and that one is gone. 2-run homer for Brian Goodwin, and it's 9-2. The first major league home run for Goodwin.
Well, Goodwin took the 3-0 pitch. This one comes back over the middle of the plate. And like I said, looking for something up. He had a 3-1 count, good hitters count. Something out over the plate, puts a good swing on it. And, you know, in a way, I mean, hey, congrats to him on his first one. It's always nice to get that first one. But it's just another piece of good hitting. Making sure that ball's up in the zone. Neal wants to get something down. He wants a ground ball.
So the Nationals with 3 home runs tonight. Taylor, Murphy, and now Brian Goodwin. Yesterday the A's lost 8-0. Tonight they're trailing 9-2. Trey Turner rolls it foul. Turner is 1 for 4. An RBI single in the 4th. He also scored a run in that 4th inning. Nationals have scored in every inning except the 1st and the 5th. And that's a base hit to center field. That was a breaking ball on 1-2 that was up. So you said earlier, Mark, you got to put guys away, and Neal is not doing that right now.
No, A's pitchers haven't been able to do that. And another one, Turner, this is the second time he's gone right back up the middle. Kurt Young coming out just to kind of slow things down. Maybe get somebody up.
Well, the 11th season of the NBC Sports California All-Star Teacher Program is here, recognizing teachers that make a difference. Visit NBCSportsCalifornia.com and vote. The winner receives $20,000 for his or her school.
Now batting, number
So
28.
Kurt Young finishes his
Jason
chat
Worth.
with Zach Neal, and here's Jason Worth. Actually, shortchanged the Nationals on a home run. They've hit 4. I forgot about Worth. So 4 home runs today among their 15 hits. Worth has also walked and singled. He has scored twice. That's a strike right at the knees. Said Jason Worth will be a free agent at the end of this year, so it'll be interesting to see if he decides to keep playing. He skies this one to left. In the ballpark on the warning track is Chris Davis. Side retired. Brian Goodwin with a 2-run homer. 7th inning stretch. It's 9-2 National.
Nationals and 15,000 happy fans will stride home with the Chris Davis bobblehead presented by Xfinity. The arm of the bobblehead moves, depicting Chris's signature salute after a home run. For tickets, visit athletics.com/promotions.
So we'll look forward to that. Day baseball tomorrow and Sunday. Should be nice weather. So come on out. Pitching matchup tomorrow will be Daniel Migden and Joe Ross, younger brother of former Athletic Tyson Ross. Joe Ross is a right-hander. So here's Vogt facing Strasburg. Pitch number 90 coming up, and it's outside. Strasburg had 3 strikeouts in the 6th inning. He's got 6 total. He's allowed just 2 hits. He's walked 3. Vogt had a good swing, fouls it into foul ball alley, and a nice play. Backhander reaching over the walkway. Vogt tonight has hit a fly ball to right field, and he has struck out. Got a runner in scoring position in the 1st. Got the 2-run homer by Joyce in the 3rd. They had Alonso at 2nd with 1 out in the 4th. 2-off base runner in the 5th. Leadoff base runner in the 6th. But nothing else.
Well, it's really been one of those games. There's been some guys on, but then they couldn't do anything after that. Strasburg has been outstanding when the A's have gotten anyone on base, besides the 1 home run.
Well, that was never more evident than in the 6th inning. Murphy makes a leadoff error, so Strasburg, A's get a runner on base, but he then strikes out the next 3. So sitting on 93 pitches, maybe his last inning. Pitch is drilled to center for a base hit. So hit number 3 for the A's against Steven Strasburg. So Strasburg on the franchise leaderboard as far as pitching goes.
Number 3.
Again, this includes the Montreal Expos, which is where the Nationals moved from in 2005. Steve Rogers, Dennis Martinez, Bryn Smith, and then Strasburg under the wins column. And strikeouts, Strasburg is second. Steve Rogers, he was good. First pitch to Plouffe, one hopper, nice play by Murphy. Out at second, Turner spins and fires to first, and that's a double play. Very nicely turned double play by the middle infielders. So Plouffe hit it hard, but doesn't have anything to show for it.
Well, Daniel Murphy, younger in his career when he was younger, he wasn't exactly the best defensive second baseman. And boy, over the years has he gotten a lot better. This ball is smoked, and a one hop. He fields it to the side, takes his time, makes a good flip to second base, and Turner with the strong throw to first. And a big one for Strasburg. I mean, you get 2 quick outs with the 1 pitch right there. You're at 95 pitches, better chance getting through 7, saving your bullpen.
Rajai Davis hits it right up the middle, and that's a base hit. So Rajai Davis has been aboard twice with a walk and now a single.
And time now for the Jeep drive of the game. And we just said it. The home run from Matt Joyce. The one mistake Strasburg's made that the A's were able to take advantage of. That fastball right there followed up a good changeup. And Joyce able to take advantage.
He has also walked twice, so Matt Joyce has been on base all 3 times. He takes a pitch low. Blake Treinen starts to throw. So for the first time, action in that Nationals bullpen. So there's that changeup, 88, 89, 90 miles an hour. It really works its way away from left-handed hitters.
To me, it's probably his most important secondary pitch.
But he doesn't throw it a lot.
No, but there's other games where he will throw it more. I think for him it's just a feel, how he feels about it in that game. I mean, obviously you're going to throw it to more left-hand hitters than you are right-handed hitters. He throws it to both.
Pitch. Strike 3 called with a breaking ball. Strikeout number 7 for Strasburg, and we're headed to the 8th. 9-2 Nationals.
will open at 4:30 p.m., 1 hour earlier than usual, for the remainder of the season to allow fans the opportunity to watch the A's take batting practice. Tuesdays also feature free parking at the ballpark as part of Chevy Free Parking Tuesday.
This Tuesday, it'll be the Toronto Blue Jays who will be here Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Hey, guess who's got another hit?
Shocker.
Daniel Murphy is 4 for 5, 3 singles and a home run. Simple swing. Doesn't really lift the leg much, and also really, I mean, this pitch is on the outside corner.
Well, that's probably a ball off the plate. I mean, he's just the epitome of the guy who's never trying to do too much. And the swing is simple. Trying to put it in play. And when you do that, good things happen.
Here's Zimmerman, who takes the first pitch strike. Zimmerman is 1 for 4. You mentioned Murphy's season last year and the fact that he finished second in the National League MVP. His season, he hit .347, 25 home runs, 104 RBIs, 47 doubles, 5 triples. That's pretty darn good.
It's not bad, huh?
His on-base percentage was .390. His slugging percentage was .595. Zimmerman to left. Davis back. Davis near the wall, and he caught it and he dropped it. Just popped out of his glove, and he throws it back in quickly, and it's going to be a very long single for Zimmerman. Chris Davis went up, made a nice effort, and he had it in his glove, and when he came down, it just trickled out.
Well, this ball just gets in on Zimmerman, and Davis gets a good break on it. And I'm not sure if maybe he didn't quite know where the wall. You could see him turn and look for the wall right there. But it seems to go in the glove. Just a snow cone right off the end of his glove. Almost makes that catch. It almost seemed he just jumped a little earlier. He thought the wall was a little closer than what it really was.
And the wall did not jar the ball loose. It worked its way loose right before he banged into the wall.
Well, it's such a difficult catch when you think the impact is coming before it does.
Because you probably brace yourself a little bit.
Which then causes the catching it towards the end of the glove.
So
the gator arm, the snow cone, whatever you want to call it. I mean, it's not an easy play at all.
Nope. So good effort by Davis, just could not quite hold on. Swing and a miss by Adam Lind, 0-2. Watch how the ball right before he hits the wall, it just pops out of his glove.
But you can see he has his arm out, thinking he's going to hit the wall, and before he got to the warning track, he turned and looked where the wall was, and that was the last time he looked, which is fine because you got to keep your eyes on the ball. But in that moment, you think you're getting there quicker than what you really do.
So it's a hit. So back-to-back hits for the Nationals, and they have 17 hits now in the game. The A's have 4. That one's up the middle, and that's a base hit to center field. Murphy will round third. He will score. And it's 10-2 Nationals as Adam Lind rolls one through the infield. So 3 consecutive hits to open up the 8th inning.
Well, I talked a couple at bats ago with Lind about how Pinder was playing on the right side of second base. Now you can see him on the left side of second base. He was moved over a little bit. And where does he hit it? Just to the right of second base.
Of course.
But when you have guys on base, that's where the shifting changes.
You know what that is, Mark? That's one team that has won 8 out of 10 and another team that's lost 5 out of 6.
Yep.
Wilholm starts to throw. Here's Rendon, who's 1 for 4. Rendon goes after the first pitch and hits it foul. Tough offense to keep down, the Nationals.
Well, from a pitcher's point of view, especially at this point of the game, I mean, this lineup, it's exhausting. It really doesn't quit. Each guy has had unbelievable at bats tonight, and their approach with 2 strikes.
And that one's belted to left, and that's going to lead the yard. 13-2 Nationals lead after the 3-run homer by Rendon.
Well, another pitch up over the middle of the plate. And like I said, these National hitters don't quit. And they continue to put at bat after at bat on the A's. Now, granted, the A's haven't made great pitches, but the Nationals have taken advantage of each and every mistake A's pitchers have made in this game.
Nationals with 5 home runs now to go with their 19 hits. Matt Wieters has a double. This one is bounced on the back end to Alonso. Throws to Neal covering. That's the first out here in the 8th inning. So 1 away, and that'll bring up Michael Taylor, but not before Bob Melvin's coming out. 69 pitches for Neal out of the bullpen. So when it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change, tune-up, and repair experts.
On NBC Sports California is brought to you by the 2017 Jeep Cherokee with an EPA estimated 30 highway miles per gallon. By Southwest, yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. By Toyota, the full-line automaker with the longest lasting vehicles in America. Toyota, let's go places. By AAA, what does your insurance do when it's not doing insurance? It should do more. Go to AAA.com for more details. And by the all-new 2017 Chrysler Pacifica.
So Daniel Colomé comes in to face Michael Taylor. 4 runs in for the Nationals to make it a 13-2 lead. That one's hit very hard right to Plouffe, who throws in time. Taylor's out. So 2 away here in the top of the 8th, and that'll bring up Brian Goodwin, who's had a very nice ball game. Pretty good numbers for Colomb, his 21st appearance. ERA of 2.70.
Number 8, Brian
Lone left-hander
Goodwin.
for the A's in their bullpen. So Goodwin tonight, 3 for 4, 2 singles, and in the 7th inning, he hit his first major league home run. FP Santangelo, the color analyst for the Nationals on the TV side, popped his head in and say, "Hey, can we get that baseball for Brian Goodwin?" "Sure, FP, you can get it. We're not going to get it for you." And Goodwin has another hit as he lines one to right center. And it goes past Rajai Davis to the wall. Goodwin rounds second. Goodwin digging for third, and he's going to make it standing up. So that's 4 hits for Brian Goodwin. So he's having a great night. That one will go as a triple. It just kind of shot past Rajai Davis.
Well, it goes as a triple,
Number
but
7,
Davis kind of
Gary
takes more of a direct route towards this, and you can see the big bounce off the turf, and Goodwin can flat out fly. This is kind of that little effortless speed. He sees it gets past Rajai, and he kind of cruises into third base.
Yeah, he wasn't even going full tilt.
Nope.
So 5 hits in the inning, 20 hits in the game. How about that? First team ever with 20 hits and 5 home runs in a game at the Coliseum.
Well, you look at the last road trip for the A's, the errors, the mistakes, the missed cutoff men, the bad base running at times, like the things, that ball right there getting past Davis, that's kind of been an example of what's been going on with the A's. A lot of things that don't necessarily go as errors, but they're all mistakes.
A lot of little things.
Yes.
2-1 to Trey Turner. He's the 8th man to bat in this inning. Turner is 2 for 5. So anyways, we told FP, yeah, well, there's nothing back there behind the wall. That home run that Goodwin hit did not go into the bleachers, into the seats. It just went in that open area behind the right center field wall. So the ball certainly could be out there somewhere. Also seen some critters out there. So if FP wants to go out there and get it, we will cheer him on from the home TV booth. But we hope that Goodwin gets the baseball somehow. Three and 2 to Turner. Turner's 2 hits, both singles tonight. And that one's on the outside corner, strike 3 called. So the inning comes to an end. 4 more runs for the Nationals. Bottom of the 8th coming up. It's 13-2 Washington.
is presented by authority of the Oakland Athletics and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Athletics Investment Group, LLC.
All right, here's our game summary brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. All Nationals 13-20-1. And for the A's 2-4-0. Strasburg was very good, 7 strikeouts in 7 innings, 5 home runs for the Nationals. Andrew Triggs gave up 6 earned runs in 3 2/3. The A's 2 runs came on a Matt Joyce home run in the 3rd inning. So the Nationals are indeed flexing their muscles as they have the best record in the National League. That's Wilmer Defoe in the game. Wilmer Defoe. We got a new pitcher, Blake Trinan, facing Pinder.
Well, and Trinan just fastball, slider, changeup. Changeup only to lefties though, so fastball, slider to Healy, but he'll get it up to 96, 97.
This one chopped slowly, third base line. And that's a nice play by Rendon, and keeping his foot on the bag is Zimmerman for the first out. Good play on both ends.
It really was. Ball chopped in. Rendon on the run. See how quickly he gets rid of it. Gets a lot on it. Zimmerman, obviously we talked about it. Used to play third base. Just switches those feet. You see guys do this now. Go to the backside. Go to foul territory to make that catch. Gets you out of the way of the runner. And you can see he gets his leg just out of the way in time.
First pitch to Jed Lowry is a strike. Lowry is 0 for 3, reached on an error. So when it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change, tune-up, and repair expert. So there's the numbers for Trinan. Mark Canha has come out into the on-deck circle. He's going to hit for Chris Davis. A's with 4 hits in the game. 2 of them came in the 7th inning. Astros have kind of blown the game open out in Arlington. It's Houston 7, the Rangers nothing in the 8th inning. Just another ho-hum game for the Astros, who have won 7 in a row.
And another possible shutout for Keuchel.
That's right.
If he's still in the game.
Keuchel rolling along. So
did you say he's 8-0 before this game?
8-0. Mariners leading the Rays 12-4 in the 7th inning. Twins leading the Angels 11-2 in the 8th. 3-1 pitch is low, so Lowry walks. Second time Lowry has been aboard. Strasburg walked 3 in his 7 innings.
Your attention, please, ladies and gentlemen, for the Athletics, batting for Chris Davis, number 20, Mark Canha.
So here's Canha. Canha had a tough series in Cleveland. Yesterday he was 0 for 4 with 4 strikeouts. So he's long forgotten about that. It was rolling along. It was a crowd of 20,813. Not quite that many here now. On the ground is short. Could be 2. And it is, as Zimmerman digs out the throw for Murphy. 6-4-3 on the double play. Side retired.
fireworks night on Friday, June 16th, presented by Ray Morgan Company. Following the Yankees versus A's game, fans are invited onto the field to enjoy an amazing fireworks show featuring an all-star lineup of sing-along songs. For tickets, visit athletics.com/tickets.
Liam Hendricks comes in the game for the A's. Liam Hendricks is pitcher number 5. He faces Wilmer Defoe, who's in the game for Worth. One 1-0 with a 3.38 ERA for Liam Hendricks. Foul straight back. A few changes for the A's. Mark Canha, who hit for Davis, stays in the game in left field, and Adam Rosales comes in at second base. Jed Lowry get a couple innings off. In the dirt. Worth, while he was in there, had a good ball game. He was 2 for 4 with a homer, a single walk, and 2 runs scored. So he can head back to the clubhouse. So full count to Defoe.
This is a tough game for the A's. And they struggle on the road trip. Not like I came up with anything brilliant there. But you get what I'm saying? Like, they had a rough road trip. You come home.
Yeah.
You're
Well,
like, okay,
and
let's
you had
get
a bad game to finish the road trip.
And by all accounts, going in, I wasn't there, but in the clubhouse today, asking a few, hey, what was that? Was that game that bad? And they just, yes.
Yeah.
So.
And they were wearing it, right?
Yeah. You have a game like that, and then you come home, and it's like, okay, we got a new energy. We're at home, and then this happens.
Yeah, that's a good call.
This is tough.
Plus, it's a team that their record's not great, but they have played well at home.
Yep.
I mean, the A's are 15-10 at home, and that's a decent record.
You'd like to think you come home, you got a good energy, good vibe. All right, let's put a little something together. Let's play these guys tough. And for the first couple innings, yeah, but then the Nationals offense kind of took over, and now it's a blowout. So
pops out of the glove of Vogt, keep the count 3-2.
Lots of times you hear guys talk about closers. Hey, you need a short memory. Well, this is a situation where these A's all of them need to have a short memory. And it's tough to do because obviously things are tough. But you know what? You're a third of the way through the season. So you got to figure out a way.
Canha hustling over, and it's just foul. Yeah, that's right. This is game number 54 for the A's. So after tonight's game, they are a third of the way through the season.
You got to pick yourself up. You got to figure out a way to get it done and play some closer ball games and win some ball games.
So 3-2 the count. Murphy waits in the on-deck circle, and then Zimmerman to follow here in the ninth. Canha will get to this one. He's got it. So that is out number 1. And here's Murphy, who has had a terrific game. 3 singles, a home run,
Number
2
20,
RBIs,
Daniel Murphy.
2 runs scored. So 4 for 5. Came in hitting .325. Now he's hitting .337. contract he signed was a 3-year, $37 million deal. And this is year 2 of the 3-year deal. So that's a pretty good deal for the Washington Nationals.
You kidding me? I remember all that talk. He had that good playoff series.
He did.
Didn't have the greatest season. And everybody's like, oh, did he turn this into a huge contract?
And he did.
And he did. But it was, I don't think anyone foresaw the season he had last year.
No, I think a lot of people were skeptical about his postseason.
Yes.
And then he had a monstrous year last year. But if you look at his seasons with the Mets, I mean, he had good seasons,
yep,
but never an MVP candidate. Now he is. Left field line could fall, and it will, and it's foul. The way Murphy's going, I would have bet big money that was going to land fair.
And that's what I was going to say. You know, when things are going good, you're thinking, watch this land just inside this line. And that was only, I mean, shoot, that's only a couple inches foul.
So 1-2 to Murphy. Murphy stands pretty close to the plate. Strike 3 called. He knew it. Good pitch by Hendricks right on the inside corner. So 2 outs. Hey, join us tonight on A's Postgame Live for the A-Team. All 4 broadcasters, Vince, Ken, Mark, and myself, we're going to get together, have an unscripted roundtable pizza discussion about tonight's game. It's only on A's Postgame Live. And you know what, tonight? It's going to be great because Vinny is really going to. Vinny always carries the show, but tonight he's really going to carry it. Yeah, he's going to have a lot to talk about. Can also catch that on 95.7 The Game. Two outs here in the 9th inning. Zimmerman is 2 for 5. 2 singles, runs scored, and an RBI. He's hitting .369. Great word used out there in baseball now, hitterish. So you're like, well, what the heck does hitterish mean? It's like when a guy stands in the box and he just looks like he can hit. Ryan Zimmerman is hitterish. I'm not sure it's even a real word, but it's a baseball term.
There's definitely something to it. There's something about the stance. And maybe it's just the confidence that you can almost the way.
Tell me he doesn't look hitterish.
It's almost like he's standing there going, come on, throw it where I can hit it.
Serious.
You know, because if you do, I'm going to.
Yes. Of course, tonight the Nationals all look pretty hitterish.
Number 26.
That's the 3rd walk issued
Adam
by
Lind.
A's pitchers, and that'll bring up Adam Lind. Adam Lind is 1 for 4. Singled in a run in the 8th and then scored. Scored on Rendon's home run. Fastball first strike. Adam Lind signed as a free agent a bit later in the offseason. Nationals getting a pretty good bat, and in the National League a pretty good bat off the bench. And what's happened this year is Lind has been great as a pinch hitter.
It's amazing how much more guys are signing so late now.
Yeah.
Into spring training.
Up and in. Lind signed, it was in February, just before spring training started. Last year was Seattle. Had 20 home runs. So he's not going to get a lot of starts this year with Zimmerman at first, and that obviously is the only position he can really play. But he knew that going in. He's 8 for 15 as a pinch hitter this year with 3 home runs.
That's an art, to be able to come off the bench, sit there all game, cold. Yeah, you might be hitting in, you know, whether it's at their park, you might be hitting in the tunnel underneath, whatever it might be. But when guys can do that, that's special, especially to be consistent at it.
Got a good swing at a high fastball. This is the 10th year in the big leagues for Adam Lynn. Had some good years in Toronto. 2009, he had 35 home runs and knocked in 114. Spent a year in Milwaukee. That one cued right towards second, and that will do it. So we're headed to the bottom of the 9th. Alonso's going to lead it off, 13-2 Washington.
Smart play of the day brought to you by your California Ford dealers, and that is Stephen Strasburg. He has really become one of the elite pitchers in the game, and tonight is why we saw that. He did not have his best stuff, and you still see the 7 innings, 4 hits, the 3 walks, and just the 7 strikeouts, but he completely shut down the A's. And besides the Joyce home run, the A's really couldn't get a whole lot going off him.
So Dusty Baker's Nationals with a 13-2 lead over the A's. It's the bottom of the 9th inning. Trennan stays out there. He'll face Alonso, Healy, and Vogt. Yonder Alonso has struck out twice, and he has a double, 1 of 4 hits for the A's in the game. Remember to join us tomorrow, Day Baseball. Daniel Migden and Joe Ross. 1:05 first pitch. Our coverage starts at noon with A's pregame live. Center field, that's hit well. Taylor going back. Taylor turning around, and that baby's gone. Alonso has homered for the 15th time this year. Homers, 32 RBIs for Yonder Alonso.
Well, this is a big boy home run tonight. The air's cool, the ball isn't carrying. Well, to center field, it's not carrying. And this ball's crushed, 96 miles an hour. Alonso knew he got that one. We saw the one earlier from Davis, not quite carry out. This ball right off the back wall.
So that makes it a 13-3 game, and here's Healy who takes high. Healy's 0 for 3. Was robbed of a double in the second inning by Goodwin, the right fielder. Slider for a strike. Astros beat the Rangers 7-1. Just went final. Keuchel did get the win. He's 9-0. He won 6 innings. So the Astros 39-16. They've won 8 in a row. Quite a story. Everybody knew they would be good, but
kind of reminded me of what the Mariners from 01 when they won I know they're not on that pace, but you know what I mean.
Sure.
Like, to where they just got out to such a huge lead in the division that no matter how good you played, you weren't going to catch them.
You know what? That's probably the way it is in the AL West now. Everybody else under 500. Bounces well out in front. 3-2 the count to Healy. Well, it's where you're Major League Baseball's glad that you got the 2 wild cards. Because you could say that about the National League East as well, where the Nationals have the huge lead. That's a base hit for Healy, so Healy gets his first hit. Singles hard up the middle. He's 1 for 4.
Well, a good fastball middle in, and Healy hits it right back up the middle. Hard hit ball. Hit it right back where it came from.
So 6 hits now for the A's. Stephen Vogt has one of those 6. He singled in the 7th inning. Plouffe to follow. First pitch is low. Now Strasburg won 7. Brandon's trying to finish out the last 2. Drops in their first strike, took a little long. Trickles away from Wieters, but not very far. Certainly Healy's not trying anything. Turner playing right up the middle. And Vogt lines one, base hit right field. Healy rounds second, and he's going to stop there. So 3 straight hits for the A's off training here in the 9th inning.
Fastball inside, and Vogt turns right up, turns all over that pitch. 97 miles an hour on the black inside. It's kind of a swing that we've seen from Vogt in the past, getting to that inside pitch, driving it down the right field line. Mike Maddox and the hand on the shoulder.
The hand on the shoulder. So this is interesting, Mark. Nationals closer situation here. It started with Training, the gentleman who's pitching now, but he scuffled, and then Sean Kelly, veteran right-hander, he was so-so, and now Coda Glover, who is a rookie, and he's done a pretty good job.
Yeah.
That's why, you know, some people feel like the Nationals may need to get a reliever at some point. Last year they traded for Melanson. Melanson did a good job for them. He signed as a free agent elsewhere. So we'll see what the Nationals do as the next 2 months roll on. Teams start figuring out who they're going to trade or what they're going to trade for. Don't see a lot of position spots open though for the Washington Nationals.
And the worst part about this for Dusty Baker right now is that they're up 13-3, and the last thing he wants to do is get somebody up in the bullpen.
And it doesn't matter who, and he just doesn't want to get anybody else up.
It's a game that's, like I said, 13-3, and you need to have your guy go out.
So 1-2 the count to Plouffe.
You know, and for the A's right now, you want to force that. You want to make somebody else get into this game. You want to make them use someone else.
As Perspire was an A's coach for a short period of time. And Plouffe chased a pitch in the dirt, so Plouffe strikes out. That's the first out here in the bottom of the ninth.
Well, a good breaking ball. Going straight down. That one did not have any right to left in it. That had tilt. Training comes straight over the top. It's amazing with all the guys in the bullpens in baseball. 96, 97, 98, as hard as they throw, and yet guys struggle. And you would think with the stuff that some of these guys have, but we're seeing in this inning alone with training, just there's the command. The command isn't there. And that's why you see guys with such incredible stuff not able to get guys out when they can throw 100 miles an hour at times. When you fall behind and you're forced into hitters' counts and you have to throw a fastball and it's a strike, big league hitters will hit it.
But I mean, how often at the big league level is stuff the issue?
Yeah.
Hardly ever, right?
No.
I mean,
it's there are so many guys who have it. What separates you is if you can command it. If you're a bullpen guy who can command 2 or 3 pitches, 2 at most, it's all you need.
I mean, you're right. Watching this young man, he's got great stuff. You can tell.
I mean, that breaking ball he threw went straight down. I mean, you can't differentiate between a fastball and that slider as a hitter. And that's why you saw Plouffe take the swings he did.
Two and one to Raj Davis. A good curveball and it's rolled foul off of Davis.
I mean, that breaking ball right there, that reminds me of Brad Lidge's breaking ball. It went straight down like a split finger fastball almost. The tilt on that, just incredible. I mean, this, as tall as he is, and that ball is going straight down. There's not the roll to it. There's not a hump to it. It's just straight down.
Two-two pitch. Just got a piece of it. Trickles up the first base line, foul.
Very seldom does training he with his fastball he has not. I don't think he's hit Wieder's glove yet. Wieder's wanted that one down and in. That was kind of up and middle a little, but that's the thing. The stuff is so good at times he gets away with it.
Grounded to short. Out at second. Throw to first. In time. Double play. And that's the ball game. So the A's may want to take a look at it, or are they not? Doesn't look like it. So it goes as a 6-4-3 double play, and way too much Washington Nationals tonight as they take game 1 of the series. And congratulations to Dusty Baker as he gets career win number 1,800 in his managerial career. So time of game was 3 hours and 15 minutes. The attendance was 20,813. The final score in game 1 of the series behind Steven Strasburg, the Washington Nationals defeat the Oakland A's 13-3 So Strasburg now 7-1 on the year. Andrew Triggs takes the loss. He is now 5-5. A's post-game live presented by State Farm is coming up next.